Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Christos, and I'm here on July 21st, 2017, and we are going to take a look at this TXN position. This was a roll from last month, and you can see we're up pretty nice on this. We sold this for 661, and right now it's trading for about 427. So a nice profit on this, especially for a straddle. That's one where we look to manage a little bit more aggressively, like 20-25% of max profit, and we are certainly past that right now. Now, something to take in mind for us was earnings is on 7/25. So that is next week on Tuesday, and we have a really nice profit in here. We made back most of the money that we lost in here last cycle, so it's just about time to take this off. Nice P&L on the day today as well, making back a little bit more. So we're exiting our position on a day of strength in our P&L. And those are kind of things, mechanics that we just try to stick to. It's always nice to manage something once you get a nice pop in your P&L for the day. And of course, we have a nice P&L for the full position here. So we've definitely achieved our goals. It would have been nice to make all of our money back, but I think we're only down like 40 cents now, where as opposed to the $2.80 that we were down last cycle. So we'll go into all of that math, but for right now, I just want to get this order closed. So I'll create a closing order here, buy back the straddle, and I just want to see what the mid to nat spread is. So within 10 cents, of course, we start right at the mid price and we see if this one fills us or not. Beautiful, filled right at the mid price. So that is very nice. So now why don't we just kind of run by the math that went into all of this. So again, you can see our filled order there. We were able to fill it right at the mid price. And then if we just check our account statement, and I've already filtered for TXN and 60 days back, and this shows all of our orders here, at least for the position that we are talking about here. So on 6/6 we originally sold this straddle, and it was the 82.50 straddle, right? We were short a call, short a put, and we were short that call and put at the same strike price, the same 82.50 strike price. That means that it's a straddle. And we were able to sell this for a credit of 374. And then if you just take a look at 629 right here, you can see these closing orders. We went ahead and we closed the 82.50 call and put. So we just closed that straddle. And these would be two debits, right? So we'd have to add these two together to get the full debit that we closed the straddle for. So 638 plus 19, that takes us to 657. So a total debit of 657. We sold it for 374, bought it back for 657. Why don't we get a handy dandy calculator out here to do the math for us? 374 minus the 657 that we bought it back at. And that is going to give us a negative $2.83. And with one contract, of course, we lost $283 on this trade. So then what we did was decided to make a roll. And we rolled by opening another position in August now. Remember, our original position was in July. So we opened another position in August, and we also opened a straddle, but we did so at a lower price. This time it's the 80 straddle as opposed to the 82.50 straddle. Now I went over all of this in the first TXN adjustment video, so you can go ahead and watch that one if you want a refresher. But I just wanted to talk about it briefly here. And if we take a look at the price that we sold this straddle for, remember we sold both of these options. So we sold it for 128 and we sold this one for 533. Let's go ahead and do the math there. 533 plus the 128. That gives us the total credit of 661. That's also what we saw in our activity and position statement for the trade price there, 661, and we just bought it back for 421. So if we just subtract the 421, we'll get our profit on this trade, which is $2.40. So we originally lost 283, and now we just made back 240. So that brings our total loss over the last couple months on TXN at just 43 cents or $43. So this was nice that we got to make back most of our money. We're not really concerned about making back every single dollar on the trade. Of course, that would be nice. That would be the goal. That's what we're all hoping for. But you also kind of have to take what you can get. And with earnings coming up and the really nice win in there, it just made sense for us to take it off. And, you know, I was even talking to Adam and Eli earlier when we were only up like $200 on this position instead of the $240 that we were able to close it out at. When we were up around $200, I was saying, hey, we've got a pretty nice profit, earnings coming up in about a week or two. You guys thinking about taking this off? And they said, you know, we'll just kind of stay a little bit more patient with it, see if we can squeeze out a little bit more. Is there a right or wrong on when exactly to take the profit? No, not really. It's all just personal preference. We have loose guidelines, but of course, we're humans, right? So we have egos, we have opinions, and we just try to do our best sticking to our guidelines, but also having a little fun with it and doing what we feel might be best. So we chose to hang on to this a little bit longer. There's no right or wrong, and we were able to close this out for a nice profit. So again, we sold it for $661, right? And then we bought it back for $421, and that was a $2.40 profit. So if we take that $2.40 profit and divide it into that 661 entry price that we had, we can see we made around a 36% of our max profit on this trade. So it's just nice to be able to take what was a big loser in TXN last cycle, do a little bit of adjustments, do some rolls, and be able to make back most of the money on that. And TXN has just kind of been a wild ride. You know, I think we sold the original straddle somewhere in this area, around 6.6, I believe we said, right? And then it just got away from us, kept going down. We were able to roll, and we rolled out, and we rolled down. And again, you can check out the original TXN video to get an idea of what I'm talking about there. And then TXN just shooting back up, and that was good for us. It kind of shot up towards our 80 straddle price. Overshot it a little bit, but still the time decay and the premium that was sucked out of the options worked to our favor and was able to give us a nice profit on this trade. So that is about it for this one, guys. Now we have no position in TXN. Let me just get over here. No position in TXN. Quantities at 0. Nice way to make back a good chunk of change, and hopefully you guys are able to get an idea of what we were thinking, why we were thinking it, and how it all played out. So that's about it for this video, guys. I thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from it, and until the next video, take care.